Hello everyone, welcome again to another Narc Survivor live video. Another big topic today. Many of you are dealing with these narcissists and it's like they're constantly coming after you. They're constantly on your case. And it's like no matter what you do, they never leave you alone. They're always over your shoulder. They're always making these demands and holding you to these impossible and unrealistic expectations. And it's draining your energy. It's weighing you down. So you decided to click on this video today because you want to know how to get them off your back. Before I begin, please give this video a thumbs up down below. It is very important as it helps the YouTube algorithm and it will get this message out there. So before we get into this today, please hit that thumbs up button down below to show your support. But yes, this will make the narcissist run off faster than Usain Bolt. And if you don't know, I believe Usain Bolt, he was a record holder for the 100 meter and 200 meter sprint. So yes, he can run pretty fast. So just imagine the narcissist running off faster than Usain Bolt. Just let that image sit in your mind for a moment. You know what the narcissist wants? They want to be around someone who makes them feel safe, stable, comfortable, and secure. Someone who is at their beck and call. Someone who meets or tries to meet their every demand, wish, and expectation. Because that is how they feel comfortable. When you're always there for them, you're always listening to them, and you're neglecting your own feelings, wants, desires, and needs to try and please this unpleasable person. When it's like no matter what you do, it is never good enough. They're never satisfied with you. But here is the thing, and here is what will make them run off faster than Usain Bolt. Yes, that big, frightening narcissist who seem to overpower you in every situation. And it's like no matter what you did, you could never get them off your back. This is what will make them run away. And you don't have to fight them. You don't have to argue with them. You don't have to do any of that. All you have to do to make a narcissist run off faster than Usain Bolt is to see them as they actually are. Because as you probably noticed, all of these people that are around them, maybe there are other sources of supply, the enablers and flying monkeys, they don't see the narcissist as they actually are. They see and validate the false image where the narcissist is attractive and desirable, they're all-powerful, they're important, they're wealthy, intelligent, beautiful. They're all of these things to the enablers, the flying monkeys, the other supplies. And that is how they manage to keep these other people around them. Because they're supporting this false image. So the narcissist is quite comfortable around those people. But when you begin to lift the wool that they pulled over your eyes, and you see right through them, instead of continuing to validate the illusion, that is when the narcissist will run off faster than Usain Bolt. That moment that you begin to see through them, and their attempts of devaluing you are no longer effective because you're no longer susceptible to their manipulation. In that moment, they just can't be around you. They can't even sit in a space with you because you know who they really are. You know what they're really about. And you know that because they've done all of these things to you. They've done all of these horrific things. They've harmed you. They devalued you. They insulted you. They put you down. They cheated on you. They lied to you. They stole from you. They future faked. All of these things that they did, that's who they really are. That is the real person beneath the mask. Even though they may avoid accountability for their actions. Because here is the thing. It may look like the narcissist is running away from you. In actuality, they are running from themselves. And they're running off into the arms of their enablers, their flying monkeys, maybe their new supply. All of these people who don't really know them. Because if they really knew them, they would be acknowledging and holding them accountable for everything that they did to you. So whatever they've got, these connections, these campaigns, these other sources, it's all fake. If it was real, if any of it was real on either side, the first thing they would do is hold themselves accountable. And they would be expecting other people to hold them accountable for their actions as well. If they even desired to have anything real. And that is how you know that it is all fake. Although they may be running off into another situation, it's not real. What was real was what they did to you. All of those hurtful things they did to you. That was real. And yet they ran away from that because they didn't want to deal with it. They didn't want to accept it. They disowned these parts of themselves that they didn't like and assigned them to you. They tried to run away from it. And they tried to create this new character in another situation with someone else. But that's not who they really are. Remember all of that time they spent with you? All of those things they did to you? That was real. That was a part, an effect of who they really are. And if they don't own up to it, they don't hold themselves accountable for their actions, and they just run off into another situation, it's not real. Their new relationship is not real. Their smear campaign is not real. And even who they are is not real. Because if it was real, what about all these things that they did to you? They didn't take accountability for any of that. So they've just disowned these parts of themselves. While us, as victims, as survivors, we take accountability. We hold on to these parts of ourselves because we want to be better, we want to be greater. We want to learn from our mistakes. And you look at these narcissists, this is why they do what they do. Because they have been running from accountability their entire lives. They're emotionally underdeveloped. Because they haven't owned up to their actions, choices, and decisions throughout their lives. Instead, all they've done is point the finger at everyone else. They've shifted the blame onto other people and expected them to deal with it instead. And yet we look at them and we wonder why they're so weak emotionally. Why they're so sensitive. And it's like any little thing you do causes a narcissistic injury. Anything you say gets under their skin. Because they've never had to deal with anything authentically in their entire lives. All they've ever done is run from it. Leave it for someone else to deal with it and take accountability for their bad choices, for their faults or mistakes. So what you're dealing with, it's like a child. It may look like an adult, but underneath that, emotionally, you're just dealing with someone who runs from adult situations where they should be holding themselves accountable. And you may have noticed that whenever you confront them on anything, what do? They throw a temper tantrum like a 2-year-old child. They become passive aggressive. Maybe they start slamming doors. They give you the silent treatment. They can't have an adult conversation with you. They don't want to try to work on themselves because they already know, they understand that they're so far behind in life. They're so far behind the rest of us who were disciplined in our childhood. We didn't grow up with this arrogance and sense of entitlement, where it's like we don't have to work towards anything in our relationships, in our lives. We could just come in and manipulate someone, lie to them, future fake. And then when things start to get serious and we're supposed to take accountability, then they run off. And it's because they just can't deal with adult situations or relationships. They just wouldn't even know where to begin. And that is how you know. Wherever they go, whoever they're with, whatever they're doing, it's nothing real. It's nothing that an adult like ourselves would be satisfied with. Because what do? We take accountability for where we find ourselves. We try to make things better. We try to make things right. We don't just go off running away from ourselves in every situation where we experience a little bit of trouble. We cause a problem, we make a mistake. That is what narcissists do. Because as I said, it's a child in an adult body. You're not even dealing with a fully developed human being who owns up to their choices and decisions, instead of just shifting the blame onto everyone else and expecting them to deal with it. If you look at it, you were their mummy, their daddy, cleaning up after everything for them, after the mess that they made in their lives, which they then piled onto you, and they expected you to deal with that. Because they couldn't own up to their own choices and decisions like an adult. They parentified you. And in some ways, they also infantilized you. Because they always had to hold this authoritative position over you. But they were never meant to be there. So they directed the relationship in the wrong direction, which ended up being unfavorable for both of you. But what do? They jump ship every time. They want to be the captain of the ship. But guess what? If you're the captain of the ship and you want to make all of the decisions, the captain's meant to go down with that ship. That's how it's supposed to go. And I know any of us, if we were in that position, if we were the captains, we would have gone down with that ship. We would have gone down with it. We would have taken accountability for where we found ourselves. And then we would have tried to change things and make things better. But narcissists, they want to be in control. They want to be the captain of the ship. And then when things start to go down, they want to jump off and leave you on there. But what they don't realize is they're actually sinking the ship and drowning both of you. You're both getting drowned because it is affecting them too. I mean, just think about it. If they actually treated you right from the very beginning, things could have worked out far better for them. They would have gotten a lot more than what they got. If they had allowed you to be in that authoritative position where you could lead and direct them, things would have turned out far better for them. I mean, that's why they targeted you in the first place. They wanted to be around a powerful person. But then if you look at it, without the lies, the manipulation, the future faking, once you take all of that away, you wouldn't have wanted anything to do with them anyway. Because you would have realized that there's nothing in it for you. And that's why they hold on to this position of power and authority so strongly. Because otherwise you're going to quickly realize that you're far better off on your own without them. And I've seen it myself in my own life when I've dealt with narcissists. If I had just left them alone, if I had realized what I was dealing with from the very beginning, I would have been far better off. But this is why they do what they do. This is why they lie to us. They manipulate us. Especially the men who are watching this right now. There's one thing these narcissistic women do not want and do not like. It is your masculine energy. And I don't mean you just got to go around being a jerk to everyone. That has nothing to do with masculinity at all. Masculinity is about being a leader. It's authority. But it is also having empathy and compassion. They wanted your empathy and compassion, but they did not want you to hold that authoritative position over them. They wanted to take control of you so that they could use you for their benefit. And they thought they were getting something by doing that. But if you look at it, all they got was the crumbs. They could have got so much more out of you. I mean, just look back and see everything that you built with your life. Everything that you achieved and accomplished before they came around. And imagine how much more you could have done if you continued in that position of authority and control over your own life. You could have done so much more. And if they just accepted their position as your subordinate, they would have had everything laid out for them. But that's the thing, again, is that they never would have done that to begin with. Because then they would have realized, or rather you would have realized, that there's nothing in it for you anyway. You wouldn't get any value out of it. It wouldn't do anything for you by keeping them around. And they already know that. And that's why when you do realize your true power, your true value, from that point on, narcissists, they're not even going to get a foot in the door with you. As Ross Rosenberg, the psychologist and the author of The Human Magnet Syndrome, has said, your greatest defense against a narcissist is your self-love. And that will make them run off faster than Usain Bolt. When you love yourself, they do not want to be around anyone who loves and accepts themselves. And we can see that by what they do to us. As soon as they get a foot in the door, what do? They devalue us. They start making us doubt ourselves. Because your self-love is your greatest defense. And knowing this, you should know that whatever they're moving on to, their new supply, they're just with someone who does not love or accept themselves. That's the only way that they can be together. And a person who does not love and accept themselves, that's just the type of person that they have to seek out so that they can maintain control, because they can't do that with you anymore. And you may have loved and accepted yourself in the beginning, but then they went to the devaluation because they couldn't exist around you in that state, because they do not love or accept themselves. That's why they never took accountability for their actions. And this is how you know that, yes, they are disconnected from self. Ourselves, our true selves. That's not just all the good things that we do, our positive characteristics. No. It's the bad things we do as well. It's our faults and mistakes, our flaws and imperfections. Yes, we must own these things too. And we must try to improve on them. But narcissists run away from that. They run away from themselves because they do not love or accept themselves. And that's why they can't tolerate your self-love and your acceptance of yourself. Because then that means that they need to love and accept themselves. But your self-love, it triggers them. It just resurfaces their insecurities. So that's why everything they do, it's all about managing your self-esteem. They're trying to take from you what they don't possess themselves. So you want to make a narcissist run off faster than Usain Bolt. This is all that you have to do. love and accept yourself. And if you do that, automatically, you will no longer be susceptible to their manipulation. Because when you love and accept yourself, you expect other people to love and accept themselves. And as I said, it's not just about the good things we do or our positive characteristics. As with narcissists, they're always so arrogant and grandiose. In their minds, they believe that they are perfect. That's not really who we are. Who we are, it involves accepting our faults and mistakes, our flaws and imperfections, our negative characteristics and traits. And that's what we always do. It's why it's so easy for them to devalue us, and then we self-loathe. Because unlike them, we are not running from ourselves. We accept ourselves. Even things that may not be good or positive about us, we accept that too. And that's how they manage to get in and manipulate us and keep us down where they can be in a position of control. But when you start to wake up and you start loving yourself again, then they can't be around you anymore. They can't be around a person who is real and authentic. And real and authentic means accepting not only the things you've done right, not only the good things about you, but also the things that you have done wrong, the bad things about yourself as well. This is how you know. When they run off faster than Usain Bolt, like they're doing a 100-meter sprint, what they're running off to, it's not even real. And who they are is not even real. And their new supply is not even real as well. Because the narcissist does not love or accept themselves. That's why they run away from you, and they didn't take accountability for their actions. And for them to be able to be around their new supply must not love or accept themselves as well. And that also includes everyone in their smear campaign, their enablers and flying monkeys. None of them love or accept themselves, which means that none of them are even real. Because they don't accept anything that they do. Anything bad or wrong, any negative characteristic, any fault or mistake, flaw or imperfection. So they're all fake people. None of them are real. And they're running away from you, not because anything's wrong with you or because you're not good enough, as they make it out to be. They're running from you because you are real. And that's what they can't stand. They can't stand anything real. And what is real? They know that you are real. Because all of the times when they devalued you, they put you down. They got you to identify with real or imagined things that you did wrong. What's more real than that? What is more real than someone who takes the blame, they take accountability, they self-loathe? You know what's not real? It's having this big wall in front of yourself where you have to act like you're perfect and you don't do anything wrong. And there's nothing bad about you, as though you've done anything right and there's nothing that you need to correct. There is nothing more fake than that. Everything they have, it is all a lie. It's all a facade. It is not real. What you have is real. And that is why people like ourselves, people who are actually real, you may find you don't really like being around large crowds. You don't like being around all of these big events, these family gatherings, whether it's Christmas or birthdays, these fake holidays like Valentine's Day. You're not really into all of that because you know it's all garbage. It's all fake. It's all a show. It's all a false image. The very things that narcissists gravitate towards just makes us sick because we know it's all a facade. All of these things they do, all of these things that they engage in, it's all fake. And it's all intended to manipulate you. And a lot of the things in this world today, it's all just to make people fake, to make people not who they really are, to make people less and less like themselves. So hold on to your truth, hold on to your reality, hold on to who you really are. Because I can tell you that there are a lot of people in this world, but very few of them are actually real. Because as I said, what is a real person? What is the definition of someone who is real? It's someone who accepts their past. They accept everything about themselves, good and bad. Their achievements, but then also their faults and mistakes. Narcissists, they just want to live a fake life with fake people. They don't want to be around anything real. When you start being real and you start loving and accepting yourself, when you start doing that, they will run off faster than Usain Bolt. But they're not really running from you. They're running from the fact that they do not love or accept themselves. That's what they're running away from. And they're running off to people who will accept the fake version of them. Because the real version of who they are is not only the positive things, but the negative things as well. It's about taking accountability. But they're running away from that. They don't want anything to do with it. So they're running from themselves. That's what they're running away from. But nothing succeeds in that. Because if you want to experience success, happiness, peace, these things all come from us loving and accepting ourselves. The very things that they are running away from. Their entire life is just a fantasy. It's not even real. And in order for you to even communicate with them, you have to enter their fantasy world. You have to accept that nothing is wrong with them, that they're perfect, that they can't do anything wrong. But by doing that, when anyone does that, they are not loving or accepting themselves. So these are the types of people that the narcissist surrounds themselves with. In their alternate reality, their fake worlds. People who do not love or accept themselves. And people like us, people who desire to take accountability, we find these communities. And many of us, we begin to isolate ourselves. We don't spend too much time around other people because we realize that this world is very fake. It's just full of people who just constantly run away from situations in their lives. They don't want to own up to things. They don't want to take accountability. They're just shame-based people doing everything they can to avoid reflecting on their shame. When what you should do if you want to be better in life, the very thing you should do is confront whatever it is that you are running away from. If you want to be better, if you want to experience real happiness, real peace, whatever you're running away from, you need to do a 180 and run right back. And you need to take accountability in that situation. Maybe the other person won't let you. Maybe it's not possible for whatever reason. But you need to exhaust every possible option, so at least you can say that you did your best. Because that is what it means to love and accept yourself. And you cannot love anyone else until you do that. So this is all that they're doing. When you see them run off, they're just running away from themselves. They're running off to live a fake life with fake people. And the longer their situation or relationship is, whatever it is that they have, the more fake that those people are. Because a real person, they're just not even going to be able to be around them. They're not going to be able to deal with that. When you love and accept yourself, you can only be around people who love and accept themselves as well. So this is it. This is what you have to do to make the narcissist run off faster than Usain Bolt. Because this is what they're running away from. It may look like they're running from you, but they're actually running from themselves. True authenticity comes from accountability. From owning up to the things that we have done wrong and then responding to the best of our ability. If you're finding this video helpful, remember to give it a thumbs up down below. It will help to get this message out there to other victims as well. So it's very important to do that. But yeah, this is how we know that they are living a fake life, a fake existence. And this is why they can never be happy. Because they're shame-based people doing everything they can to avoid reflecting on their shame. Many of us may be able to relate to that. I know I can in my past. Where I did some things wrong and I didn't want to own up to it. And I used to wonder, why am I always so angry? Why am I always so miserable? Even when I have good things going on in my life. And I started to realize that I'm running away from certain things. I'm not really being myself. I'm not being authentic. I'm not living a true existence because I'm denying certain parts of myself. Running away from the shame instead of confronting it. Something that a narcissist is never going to do. They're always going to deflect it. They're always going to shift the blame. They're never going to own up to it. And that's why they'll always be miserable in their lives. It doesn't matter what they have or how much they have. It doesn't matter who they're with. They're never going to be satisfied with anything. I can promise you that. Because they would have to confront their shame. The very thing that is weighing them down. But if they were to do that, instantly they would feel compelled to make things right with you. They would do everything in their power to correct that. But they don't, because they don't confront their shame. And that's why they're always so miserable. It's why they're always so mad. It's why they're always so envious of your situation and of you trying to move on. It's all because of their shame. And they know that unlike them, we do have the ability to confront our shame. They know that we can deal with it and we can move on and be happy. That's why they've got to pile all of this onto us and try to weigh us down with responsibility, things that we're not even responsible for, things that they did wrong, things that they didn't own up to try to prevent us from moving on and living a life that they can't. Experiencing a sense of happiness and fulfillment that they will never get to experience because they can't own up to their shame. But it's our shame. It belongs to us. It's a part of who we are. When we deny these things, we live a fake life, a false existence. We're not really being ourselves. We can't really develop anything authentic with anyone. This is what they do. And when you're being real and you expect them to own up to something, and they run off faster than Usain Bolt, they're running away because you're real. You're being real. You're loving and accepting yourself You're taking accountability for the things that you've done wrong in your life. But they don't want to do that. They'd rather run off and be fake without even realizing that that is the cause to their demise. And it's the reason why they will never be happy with anything. They will never be satisfied. And that's why. So that is my message for tonight. Let me know what you think down in the live chat below. I will read it out and respond to it. I have noticed quite a few strange comments in the live chat as I was delivering this message. I had to hide it, a few people. One person saying I look like Eminem. And then some other trolls. Hello, rad bro. Rio Asian Gaming says his eyebrows look good. Should I subscribe? I don't know whether to take that seriously or not. Saswati Pramanik says, are you BTS Army? A lot of random comparisons here. Already saw one that says I look like Eminem. But yeah, as you probably noticed, I do often get some very strange comments in the live chat when I am delivering these messages. I think it's typically just to distract me, because it really just goes back to what I said. I mean, a lot of people are living a fake life. They're fake people. They don't want to take accountability. They don't want to respond to the best of their ability. They don't want to accept their faults and mistakes, their flaws and imperfections. And they just can't stand anything real. If it's real, they want to keep it down, or they want to run away from it. But in actuality, they are just trying to destroy or run away from their authentic selves. If they even have that anymore. Because I'm sure many of them discarded that a long time ago. But I'm sure as many of you here, that is not what I intend to do. I accept both the good and bad parts of myself. I accept my positive but also my negative characteristics as well. I accept my faults and mistakes. I accept my flaws and imperfections. And I want to use them to become the greatest version of myself. Which is something I've been doing for many years now, and I will continue to do it. Those of you who subscribe to that, you're very welcome here. Anyone else, you're on the wrong channel. If you want to deny the truth, reality, you need to go somewhere else. Druid VW says, Christopher has that glow, like all super empaths do. We literally glow. That's very true. And I'm not just reading that out to just blow up my own ego. It's more because it just reminds me of my own personal experiences with other empaths. They really do have a glow. And you can just see that glitter in their eyes. You can see that they see you. They recognize you as a separate person with your own feelings and needs. Yes, that is the glow that you will see in other empaths. Warren Jefferson, you are very welcome. I'm glad that you're finding this advice helpful. Yeah, there's always a lot of trolls in the comments, but that's just how it is. They gravitate to empathic people. And why? Because we care. We feel. We feel another person's emotions as if they were our own. And believe it or not, but that is actually very rare in today's world. From my research, only 1 to 2% of the world's population are empaths. People who can feel and share another person's feelings and experience. Yes, that is actually a very rare trait in today's world. So many trolls in the live chat today. I'm sure you can all see all these weird comments. But that's how it goes. I mean, when you start becoming successful, you will attract a lot of haters, a lot of people who oppose you, especially when you're speaking the truth, because most people in this world do not want the truth. They do not want reality. But people like ourselves, we can't help it. We desire truth. We desire love, and that is acceptance, not only of the good, but also the bad. Narcissists just want to deny or run away from all of that and just live a false existence. Empaths, we may try to do that, but it just feels so uncomfortable to us. I would like to stay longer on here, but unfortunately my battery is very low. I think it's only 3% now. But I hope I've given you enough information in this message tonight been on here about an hour. And if you would like to show your support, you can do that right now down below by giving this video a thumbs up. And let me know your thoughts about this video in the comment section below. I do read your comments every day. And you're going to hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so that you will receive notifications for my future videos. I'm also available for a one-on-one, which you can book on my website. It is narcsurvivor.co.uk. And you can follow me on Instagram and send me a message on there. It's Narc Survivor YouTube. I'm also uploading new pictures and videos of my travels on there as well. So definitely check it out, Narc Survivor YouTube and Instagram. That's all I've got to say for this video. But I'd just like to thank you all for joining me. As always, I do appreciate your support. And I look forward to talking with you in another video very soon. You all have a great day.